Hey, what's up, YouTube? Doing a quick video here about the Grom and an issue I found with my levers, these Amazon levers. I'm sure they're the same as the eBay levers, probably all made by the same company. Um, so, first issue, you put your hand on the throttle and then you go to grab the brake. This is where my finger lands, okay? Lands right there. What it should do is land right here. But in order to achieve that, I have to pull my hand way off the throttle tube. It's almost with the gloves. It's hitting the lever and the lever protector. So that's the first issue. And you come to my other bike with the ASVs. I go to grab the brake, and it's right there, right where it should be, perfectly designed. Second issue, you look at these are on different numbers, but if you put the adjustment dials to the same number on both, one lever, this lever here, is an inch shorter distance from the grip to the lever than this side. So they're completely different spacing on each, which is not a huge deal. But if if you have this cranked to 6 like that, you see this huge, it's like almost 4 inches, 5 inches. But then if you do, if you try and get the same distance on this thing, on this side, you're not going to be able to achieve that kind of throw. So that's one other issue. And ever since I installed these and started riding, I was getting the funny, something was off, I wasn't, and I never really delved into it because I didn't have time, but I just got around to checking it out. And whenever I brake hard or do some kind of, whenever I used a lot of brake, it just wasn't stopping like I wanted it to. And I wasn't sure if that was because the calipers or what what was the reason. But I found out that this part here, this little adjustment lever, actually makes contact with this metal tube. If you can look closely here, get this to focus. Yeah. It hits right there. It's not such a big deal when you first start the bike and you get going because you got enough pressure. But once you start using the brakes and the fluid starts heating up, this lever is gonna get mushy and it's gonna want to travel a lot more. And so once that happens, you're contacting this metal tube, and you're essentially, your lever isn't gonna go any farther. So that's pretty freaking dangerous. And I was feeling something funny because it was some kind of blockage, but I never got around to taking a look at it until now. And I thought that was just a problem I was having because these are aftermarket handlebars, and I might have not put back this throttle tube in the right orientation or the right spacing. And same with the brake lever. I might have not, I might have, on the stock Grom, it might have been, spaced differently. So I thought maybe this was my issue. And I tried moving this farther back to solve the finger issue, but then the mirror here, the mirror attachment was hitting the throttle cable, and I couldn't move it back far enough. And this got even worse. It got even worse, this problem here. So I put it back to where it was, and I went online to check if anyone else was having this issue, and it turns out a lot of people have had this issue with these same types of levers, eBay levers. I read one where he had the WeBike levers, which are much more expensive than these $30 Amazon ones, but they're the similar design. These companies are cranking these out for every bike imaginable, and they're not going to take time to redesign the lever profile for each and every bike. So they just take what fits and they put on the correct adapter. and just ship them out. And I've had these types of levers on all my bikes, and it's not been a problem. You know, they've all worked fine, but on the Grom, for some reason, yeah, there's this issue. So that's a deal breaker for me, and so I just want to warn you guys if you're thinking of getting these levers. I've got some ASVs on order. Just because I saw Royal Jordanian, his Grom has them. I have them on my bike, and they're really nice quality. And I can tell from his videos that the position is just right. So I went with what I know, and yeah. There's also CRG offers a set of levers for the Grom. I really like CRG stuff, but I wasn't gonna gamble again, so I just went with what looked good and what I know works. So there you go. So if you're planning on getting these, just beware. Thanks.